Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Diaspora panel. We are the voice of the diaspora. I want to say a big thank you to all our new subscribers. We want to welcome you to the Diaspora panel. And if you're one of our subscribers and you have not yet subscribed, please click on that link now. It is free of charge so that when we do the next video, you'll be one of the first people to know about it. Today, I'm in the video, as always, with Mr. Ademola Adisa, who is based in the United Kingdom. Mr. Adisa, you're welcome to today's meeting.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your invitation.
I'm also here with Mr. Olaitan Adedigba, who is based in United States of America. Mr. Adedigba, you are also welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And Mr. Olalawal, all the way from Calgary, Canada. Thank you for coming to today's meeting.
Thank you for having me.
Today, we want to examine the concept of state police. Last week, we had the president who was, talking about the crisis in, I think, in Zamfara State. And he has assured that he is an advocate of state police, and he has actually implored the state governors to come together and work out a suitable way of implementing state police. So, Demola, I know this idea has been there for a long, long time. It's part of the restructuring process. Do you think that Nigeria is ripe for state police? Do you think the governors are going to misuse this opportunity? Or do you think it's a good idea or 100%?
Oh, thank you, Deji. I believe in any civilized country or any country that really values security, the local policing is highly important. In any civilized country or emerging country now, there is no way that you just have only the central police without the state police. All security are local. The Constitution gives the governors the responsibility of being the chief security officers. If they are chief security officers and they don't even have the power to enforce security in their domain, then that position is not tenable. So as far as I'm concerned, it's long overdue. It's supposed to have been done. I don't know why the federals should monopolize the use of police. Even during the colonial era, the policing were not concentrated only at the central. So it is an aberration to think that only the federal should be responsible for policing in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. So, Lighton, we know that the governors, they are already very powerful. I mean, they have immunity. If they do anything, nobody can challenge them. If they, so they're very, very controlling. They're already like king gods. So my fear is that when you give them this power, that means they now have the instrument of coercion, the instrument of force at their disposal. I'm thinking that they might be tempted, some of them will be tempted to use this force against their political opponents, especially maybe to rig election and do all that. What do you think?
That is also my fear, DG. In fact, I must say this. Subsequent elections in Nigeria, it has shown that the government, the state governors, they normally make use of the police, even the Nigerian police, right, to rig the elections. You see, an instance whereby the police are not, they are not independent. They are subservient to the political office holders, right? So that is my only fear, that the governors, they will make use of the police. So that is why we are saying that let them, the engagement terms must be spelled out. How are they going to do it? What do they want? What roles are the governor going to play? Right? Is it going to be under the regional police regional government or the governors? So and the police too, that who will be recruited, who will be trained, are they going to be taking order from the state commissioner of police, right? But lo and behold, I want an instance where the police they will owe their allegiance to the constitution of the country, not to individual, right? They might give you order, but you say no, it is against the constitution. You tell them, you let them know that no, I can't do that, right? So there should be a series of law in place, and the police should know that, and they will train them in the police college to say, okay, you have to refuse this when you are being used against the opponent, right? So that is my take.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Shukro, we have seen that there are a lot of paramilitary, forces in the country, and very recently, I remember the president, said he wants to set up what we call forest guards, kind of forest police to go into all the ungoverned spaces, into all the bushes, and actually make sure there are no threats coming from there. For the mineral resources, there are, I think Alake set up something like he called, is it mineral or something police, I've forgotten what he called it. So there's this NCSDC or something. There's so many of them. So why do we really need this state police? Why must it be under the control of governors? Do you think this is a good move?
Well, thank you very much. So I think for policing to be effective, it has to be local, because people within the local area have a lot of vested interests. They live there, their families live there. Most people within their communities reside in that vicinity. So there is an interest, to maintain law and order, so that people, can have the ability to carry on with their daily activities. Now, it is a double-edged sword. I think if we look at it, one of the things that we've seen, and there have been many documented cases where, local vigilante groups or even local law enforcement will catch bandits only, to get a phone call from Abuja saying that they should be released. In that scenario, that will not be possible. So, those people, bandits, can be prosecuted locally. And if that happens in local communities, then it will really, hinder their ability to be able to continue to operate in those communities. But that also comes with its own challenge, because, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely.
If you now put that local police enforcement organization directly under the sole control, and I underline that word, the sole control of the respective governors, there is a likelihood that they also will misuse it, likely, to punish or to target, political opponents. So it has to be balanced. I think another proposal is to put that local police force under, the jurisdiction of a region, such that, the governor may have a say, but not the total say. There are other proposals maybe to put them under the auspices of a traditional ruler, whatever it is. But I think putting them solely under the control of the state governor without any checks and balances, I think definitely will result in that power being misused.
Thank you very much. Okay. So, Demola, we have seen in the last few years the successes of Amotekun, set up by the late governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu. May his soul rest in peace. And he was the one who advocated and actually originated this Amotekun in the Southwest. And the Amotekun, they were able to checkmate these militants, advancing towards the Southwest. And it worked very well. Now, this is as a kind of regional structure, so that the control is not really in the hands of only one person, but several. So now I'm thinking that instead of having state police, because if you have state police, you are thinking about setting up 36 state police. We are setting up 36 different paramilitary forces in the country. But we know that our country is divided into about 6 geopolitical zones. So if we actually do a kind of regional system, like Amotekun in the southwest, and then Ebubiago in the south, and like that. So we are only setting up only 6 instead of 36. I mean, it saves cost on the overhead. That's number one. Number two is that this regional state police can be controlled by the head of the regional commissions instead of the state governors, so that the instrument of power, the instrument of coercive power, will not be directly in the hands of the governors, but it will be in the hand of the chairman of the regional body, the Regional Development Commission. So do you think this could be maybe a much more reasonable way of having a localized police within the system?
Yeah, Deji, I agree with you to an extent. Let me explain. Let's take, for example, the London Metropolitan Police.
Okay.
They comprises of local government policing system.
Mm.
And the mayor of London is the responsible chief officer for the Metropolitan Police, both for the London and the Greater London areas, which are comprises of more than about 15 or 20 local government, because local government rule London, UK more than the central government. And yet, there is a division of responsibility between the mayor and the prime minister. So also there are other regions in Manchester, there is also in Birmingham, or also that also have regional policing control like that. So these are possible. So the constitution, when this is set up, there should be a responsibility and the limitation of both the regions, the states and the federal in policing. Let's also take, for example, the United Kingdom. The United States of America, where we are even by the idea of presidential system of government. We also have this system there. And the state governments have their own policy system. Even the counties have their own policy system as well. And they have a limitation. So also the federal government, which is a Federal Bureau of Investigation and other paramilitary bodies, have a limit, have their own power. When there is a jurisdiction, the state know their limit, and also the federal know their limit, and the local, the counties also know their limit. So they can be well defined in a way that everybody know where their power starts and ends. So it's not an excuse that because somebody will be overuse power. It depends on the power you give that person. If that person is the power is absolute, then it will be absolutely be used. But if the power is devolved, then the responsibility will be devolved to each arms of government.
Thank you very much. Lighton, we saw a very good example with Yaya Bello. This is a governor who was accused of embezzling the funds of his state. And after he left office, he put a puppet governor there. He put another governor there who used a proxy. And then when the EFCC tried to go after Yaya Bello, the puppet governor, I'm sorry to use that word, but that's the way I see it, the puppet governor used the power of the state to protect Yaya Bello and used the police, the federal police that was attached to him to protect Yaya Bello. Are we not likely to see, now when you now have somebody like that in charge of a militant force, in charge of tens of thousands of people carrying arms, are we not going from fire to fire?
Yes, thank you for that question. Like I rightly said initially, the roles of the police, the state police, should be spelled out, right? And they should know that their allegiance is to the country, not to individual. not to the governors that they are in that of that state. What we want to prevent is bandits, kidnapping, and all these stuff in the local area, and we want to make use of the local police because these are the people that they are indigenous. They know themselves. They know the criminals among themselves. So I mean. When we want to use that, we want to do that, not that we want to be using it to intimidate opponents. Like you rightly said, the police is an indictment on the police, Nigerian police. Somebody is wanted. You have to enforce the law. All these police, right? You have to make sure that the law is enforced. For you to arrest, you don't arrest him because you are serving the governor, and you just continue guide. I mean, you don't allow him to answer to the state. It's even a criminal offense, right? What they did, and come back to our question. It is.
Okay, let me pause you 1 minute. The question I actually will ask you is, what do you think about a regional system? That's what I actually wanted to
regional system of
yeah.
government.
Do you think regional system like the Amatekun system, do you think it's a better idea?
Yeah, it's a better idea in the sense that the region, the people of that region, you will know them, right? The police in that region will know the people in that region, and they will don't. I mean, they will not. If there's any problem, immediately they will make sure that they arrest the situation. So, but the question is, these people they have to be what is it called? They have to be mandated that okay, you have to do this, you have to do this. They have to be trained and retrained to know their duties and responsibilities. Not that they will be in that region. I mean, you'll be subservient to the governor, and whatever the governor says is the final. Right? You will not protect the people you are set up to protect. Right? So that is it.
Thank you. Shukbo, finally the same question. Instead of giving this power, this is an enormous power. You want to give somebody the power to arrest, to prosecute, to kill. You want to give it to somebody who you think that is malevolent, who you think that could use his power. So do you think Nigeria should play safe instead of giving 36 mad people, giving them power to kill, to do whatever? Do you not think we should take a breath, take a step back, say, you know what? I know that you, Demola and Lighton have said, yeah, we have to, say this is what they can use it for. This is where it's not always like once they get that power, they are drunk. So the best thing is to make sure they don't get, as somebody said that when you get absolute, power, give you absolutely. Yeah. So don't you think we should stay with a kind of regional system? Let's have somebody in the middle, maybe, as I said, the head of the regional body, the Regional Development Commission, who is somebody who maybe even be appointed by the presidency in the middle, who is controlling this police, so that the governors can say, hey, oh, yeah, go and arrest somebody, oh, yeah, go and kill somebody. No. So they will be under that person who is apolitical. Do you not think that's a good idea?
Yeah. So ideally, in a society where there is the rule of law, governors are not supposed to give orders of arrest. Police force are supposed to conduct the investigation, and in accordance with the law, if there is probable or reasonable cause, they can go to a judge. The judge will look at the case and then sign the warrant of arrest. That is the way it is supposed to operate. The governor, who is the chief security officer of the state, can appoint the police commissioner, can fire a police commissioner, for example, if he believes that the police commissioner is not doing or carrying out his activities in the interest of the people. But traditionally, governors are not supposed to be the ones saying who ought to be arrested. That is supposed to be the outcome of a proper investigation following the rule of law. Now, at some point in time, even if all police commissioners report to a regional body, they're still going to report to somebody. And there is also the likelihood that there may be collusion. So, for example, if you have a state governor who is in the same political party as the head of, the regional police force, or, whatever that entity is, there also that possibility that they may be using the local community policies, more so to their own effect. So I think we can try as an organization, as a country, to reduce the conflict of interest and ensure that there's proper segregation of duties so that one person does not call the shots. One person does not appoint the police commissioner. That same person is the one who will tell the police commissioner who they ought to arrest and who they ought to free. That will be a recipe for failure. So I think reporting to regional system is good. It will balance, the power such that there will be some checks in the system to ensure that if, for example, governors are leaning on commissioners of police to arrest somebody without probable cause, then the police commissioner too can refuse, or that decision can kind of go to a much higher body that would then look at it and then make that decision. I think giving that power absolutely to 36 state governors. I mean, if we look, for example, at what happened during the El Rufai administration in Kaduna, will be a recipe for disaster.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. So finally, this is your final question, Demola. When you look at what is going on, especially in the northern part of the country where there's so much rampage by these militants and all these bandits, so do you think once we have this vaccine called state police, once we have this shot in the hand, do you think that quells it? That's it? That ends it? Or is that something that Nigeria needs to do?
Yeah, there is more than just the police to stop any violence in anywhere. It takes the local people's mindset as well. Because if people want peace, there will be peace, there will be relative peace. The problem in the north or any part of Nigeria is local. And people know the criminals, they know whatever is going on there. So if the local people stand up, which they are doing now, and this is why it even brings it more important for the local people to defend themselves. That is why you need to decentralize policing. Since, look, there is relative stability in the Southwest because the Amotekun are able to checkmate all these criminal activities going on there. I don't believe that we are just being skeptical, thinking that the governors will be using. This is not a tenable excuse. It's an assumption. It's nothing that is being practiced. There is even more abuse of power at the central level than at the local government, at the state level. So I believe this will be. It's even the states that are asking for it, especially the northern states, because they believe, especially what is going on in Benue and Plateau. If Benue and Plateau have their state police, all these militants that are coming from outside Nigeria or from anywhere, or all these men that is just killing anybody because they have the monopoly of AK-47, will not be happening. So I believe it's a good recipe to control banditry, to control terrorism, and to make local security local.
Thank you. Thank you. Lighter, if you are to sit down with the president or with the presidency or with the people who wants to implement the state police, what limitations will you be looking at? What should be the limit?
Say that again.
Say that again. What limitations should they be looking at? What should be the upper limit of what this state police can do and what they cannot do?
Yeah, if I were to sit down with Mr. President today to advise him, I will tell him that there should be an enabling law that will set out the local police. Local police will be set up with the intention to curb banditry, criminal activities in the local area, right? So as a result, the people at the local area, they should have some sort of confidence in them that their lives will be protected, that they will not be they will not be intimidating them by the political opponents. So these are the gray area they need to sit down and fashion out. Who will be paying them, right? If it is the governor that will be paying them, that they will be subservient to the governor. Who will be appointing them? Is it the governor that will be appointing them? They will go to whatever the dictates of the governor party, the party the governor belongs to. That is what they will be supporting. So all these things, they have to be ironed out. So once it is ironed out, then we are good to go, right? But state police is high time we had it in Nigeria. So we need it, yes,
Thank you.
to curb corruption and criminal activities in our local area.
Thank you, Chupa. What's your take?
Yeah, so I agree that we need local policing, and probably state police is the closest we will ever get. I want to remind Mr. Ademola Disa that I disagree a little bit with putting them under the state governors. I mean, I've lived in Nigeria to witness the girlfriend, for example, of a local government chairman slapping a police officer and threatening that that police officer will be derobed because they were stopped and questioned. So, let's not pretend that these things don't happen. I mean, I'm even saying the girlfriend, not the wife of a local government chairman. So these are the types of things. So imagine if that local government chairman had full powers, to appoint the police commissioner, and the police commissioner to understand the gravity of what will happen to his job and his career if he ever did that. So there has to be proper checks and balances.
Thank you.
I think local police, state police is probably the closest. It just needs to be structured in a way that it does not give absolute power to one person who is going to be the state governor.
Thank you very much. So we come to the end of this deliberation, and my take is, Mr. President, this is a very laudable idea. It's a very plausible idea. It's implementable. But, sir, don't make a mistake. Do not give state governor the power of coercive power. Don't do it, because it's going to backfire. It happened in the Western region in those days, during the regional power system. You have already set up 6 regional structures. Give the head of those structures the power to set up regional policing system. Let them protect the different regions. And what you can do, which is better, is take away the allocation, what they call it, the security allocation that you are giving to governors. Take it away from the governors and give it to the head of the regional corporations, and let them look after the security of their regions. Do not allow to be set up 36 paramilitary institutions being controlled by 36 mad people. Please. That is my own opinion. And I want to say a very good thank you to Mr. Ademola Disa in the UK. Thank you so much for coming to today's meeting.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And Mr. Olaitan Adedigbà, I'm a very good friend in Trump's country.
Thank you. It's my pleasure being here today.
And my very good brother, Mr. Olalawa in Calgary, Canada. Thank you for coming to today's meeting.
Thank you for having me.
To all our viewers, we see you again next Sunday. God bless you and goodbye.